Okay, what we're going to try to make today is a pocket that's going to be placed onto a t-shirt, and this is the shape that we're going to make it. And in the back you can see that it has the raw edges, and we aren't going to sew down these edges until after we put it onto the t-shirt, but we're also going to make sure that this is sewn prior to that. So let me show you what I do first. I choose the fabric and I make sure that it's pressed. I take my template that I am going to kind of locate and centerish my pattern where I want it. That's my actual pocket size pattern. It's the same size as that. And then I actually have my cutting template, which is larger, and I've kind of marked on the edges where the lines are, where the actual pocket will be. So you could just put this is what I do. Put this on here and look through it if your material that you're using for a template is see-through. I moved it down just a little bit because it was raw edges. Then I take a couple of pins. Pin it on there, and that's the larger template. Cut it out. It can be raggedy, but not too raggedy, because this edge is not to be seen. Corners. Make sure that's just a little straighter. Take my pins off. Get my little template, which this is about where it's going to be. Flip that over, and I place my template so that I have my seam allowances right there. I start at the corners. This is one of the shapes that you can make, and so I'll start at the corners for this just because of the way it overlaps. And it's a good idea not to get your iron too hot because it's hard to touch this. And actually I turned my iron down and it's still a little warm. I like to have that corner right here done first. It lays better after this is all completed. I don't need that in there right now. I'm going to do my corner just a tiny bit in, and just in that area there, just in that area. And then I'm going to make a little small hem, very small. And usually this line stays in, so you can just flip it over. Even if you've ironed over it, it's still there. Flip that. I notice that this is sticking out a little bit, so I'm going to iron that down so that it's not going to hang outside of the front, because this is the part that's not seen and we don't want hanging past the front, which is this area here. We don't want it bulging out on the sides. Okay. You can do this part here. It's good, especially if you're not very good at keeping these shapes and your iron isn't working as well. Or you could actually do this without an iron, but it's not recommended. So I'll pin the sides first. And then don't need that. That's how it's going to go. Then I actually take this over to my sewing machine and I make this sewing here, and I will show you that in a minute.